Welcome everyone to Chasing Tangles Fishing Adventures. Today we're about to start our journey to Clarke Island for an overnight mission, filled with diving and a few other bits and pieces. Leaving Tomahawk to head towards Clarke Island at the beginning of our mission. After about an hour steaming the boat, we have now arrived at Clarke Island. Absolute beautiful conditions, as flat could be. After a quick setup, chucked the dive gear on, we're ready to rock and roll. Jumped in about 12 metres of water here. I located this lovely Crays situated under this rock. Pretty sort of easy grab, no real challenge to this one unfortunately. Sort of just wham bam and straight in the bag with that one and time to move on. Not a great deal happening the rest of this area. Spent a bit of time down here, picked up a lovely couple of greenleaf abalone, and then after that it was time to move on. And this here is the bay where we camped up for the evening. Absolute beautiful conditions, super flat, so in for a treat of a night. Got everything sorted from that day, flicking a few squid jigs around, hopefully trying to pick up the occasional squid. No real luck until darkness arrived, and then managed to get a few, which was always good. Unfortunately didn't get those on camera. Here you can see we managed to catch a lovely cuttlefish on the squid jig as well. But other than that, it sort of went pretty quiet for the rest of the evening. So we pretty much called it a day and rolled on to the following morning, pretty early hours here, flicking the squid jigs around. No real luck on the squid unfortunately, but did have a few flathead start to follow the squid jig. So on with the soft plastic, and to our surprise absolutely nailed it. This one here is about 70 centimetres, so just to catch and release with that one. Not 100% sure who had hold of who here. Didn't seem too keen to let go of my thumb, but here he goes. Enjoy the freedom. So here we are cruising the next day, beautiful conditions once again, off to another spot to jump in for a dive. Jumped in here, found a cray situated under this rock. Unfortunately he was very much out of arm's length from either side. Spent a bit of time down there seeing if he'd move, but he wasn't too keen on budging, so trying to move on and leave that one there. Here we are, got the dive hose snagged on a little bit of weed or something simple there. So get that one untangled and keep rolling along the bottom. See what else is floating around down here. As you can see here, a lot of time looking in and under caves, cracks and bits and pieces that we can find, but all in all really quiet unfortunately. A few other good encounters though, plenty of fish life and bits and pieces, but all in all the crays didn't seem to be in most places where you would expect them, so we just kept ticking. You'll see a bit of footage here rolling on, and she was pretty barren unfortunately, but yeah, a couple of small crayfish, nothing of any great size. So this little one here, just sort of have a quick squiz at him and leave him for another day to get growing. A few pufferfish floating around down there, which is always nice to see. Always makes for a bit of excitement in the dive, seeing a few different things. Always seems new. Once you've seen it once or twice, it's still always good to see. So now back to the surface and time to keep moving on. Another small crayfish located under this ledge here. So just leave him alone, there's no point harassing him for no good reason. Bit more travel time back in the podium. A few dolphins joined us along the journey for a bit of a race, I think. Then they left us alone to enjoy the rest of our travels to the coastline. So here we have moved to a different spot to jump in for a dive. Wasn't sort of high hopes of having much luck. Wasn't really the right sort of bottom, what you'd normally look for. But was absolutely loaded, to our pleasant surprise. Crayfish everywhere. They were just, stacked upon one another. Beautiful bottom, beautiful sort of surroundings, and the ecosystem was just so healthy. Just crayfish upon crayfish. Definitely probably the best diving I've seen anywhere. Just thick as thick with cray. Cruising down the bottom, you can see a few antennas sticking out here. Nice size cray to the right hand side there, and bam, grab that one, add him to the collection. As you can see, just orange legs and antennas sticking out everywhere in this place. Thick as thick with crays, fish life, abalone, everything you could sort of want. Diver's paradise, to be honest. Here you can see just the final crack before I sort of call it quits sometimes right, so it's just crays everywhere. Definitely the most I've seen in sheer volume anywhere on the northeast tip of Tassie. So, but other than that, just sort of super impressive dive. And yeah, after this, it's time to cruise back to the surface and just call it a day really. Everyone was pretty cool, so loaded up the boat, packed everything down, sorted, and then hit the road back to Tomahawk. Here we go, the last hurrah back to the boat ramp. The trip's coming to an end unfortunately, but absolute beautiful conditions to end the trip. Had an absolute ball. Here we are, 2 crays here, the one on the right 4 kilos exactly, one on the left 3.5 kilos. Southern calamari here about 70 centimetres, and also that flathead about 70 centimetres as well, so a few pictures here to end it.